You got questions going out of your mind. Someone with answers now that's hard to find. Like the what and the why and the how stuff works, or just where to go to avoid all the jerks. She's Gear Abby, Gear Abby, advice that doesn't suck. Gear Abby.
Hello there, my outdoorsy friends, and welcome to Gear Abby, where we tackle the controversial, weird, obscure, and taboo topics that other outdoor podcasts refuse to touch. I'm outdoor educator and writer Shawnté Salabert, and I'm here to answer your burning questions about our relationships with outdoor people, products, places, and pastimes. And I want them all because remember, there are no dumb questions, just smart advice. Alrighty, here's how it works. You're going to send questions to deargearabby@gmail.com, and I'm going to answer a few each week here on the show. And along for the ride, joining me today and every week is my partner in gear, the producer of Gear Abby, and a guy who shakes his fist so much I'm worried that one day it might fall right off, Colin True.
You know, considering what we were talking about right before we hit record, I don't know if I like that as my intro today.
I think it's a perfect intro. You should tell the people what we were talking about right before.
Well, Gear Abby, there was a new study published in Physiology and Behavior that has shown that sexual activity shortly before high-intensity exercise does not harm athletic performance. I saw this at a press release that came out today, and I clicked the link, and I'm like, okay,
Perfect.
I thought that's something we had already known.
I mean, didn't we? Should we be sending this to the tarantulas, to the elk? Like, who else needs to hear this? Maybe there's some species that aren't across it yet.
I didn't think about that. This is, I think, a largely human-based study, but maybe we should look at doing some animals because that's a good point. You're out in the wild. You don't know what's coming. You know, you don't know if there's a little bit of time for nookie before you're about to get chased down by a larger animal in the food chain. Right?
Yeah, and I don't think like moose and stuff are reading scientific journals, so someone's got to bring it to them, right?
Moose notoriously worried about their physical performance, you know, like an athletic performance. They use Strava a lot, I've been told, you know, as they're wandering around the Utah woods.
That's right. The only person they follow is Kilian Jornet, just for inspiration.
That's right.
You know? So they could try to be more aerodynamic,
The
I guess,
Fast
in the mountains.
Moose, I believe, is Kilian's actual nickname.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's not unconfirmed, but I believe in it. I saw it on Reddit once, you know?
That got to be true.
It is. Well, you know what? I love it's good for us to keep talking about these topics we love, like, you know, sexual relations in the outdoors, because today is our 25th. We're a quarter of a century old in podcast years. This is our 25th episode. I like that we have a theme. People know at this point that there are certain things they can expect from us.
Like on-trail masturbation, apparently, is on that's something that just comes up around here.
I think maybe just on your side of the screen right now, Colin.
Well, listen, you can do that, and it won't impact your performance that day on your hike, is my point.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Something to consider.
Wait. 25 years? So each episode is a year? Is that what?
It feels like
Oh,
it, doesn't
wow.
it?
Okay.
I mean, you're over there editing it, so I don't know.
It's a joy.
You know what's also a joy is skimming the outdoor headlines.
Oh, yeah.
And I wish we had some good animal mating rituals to talk about, but instead, I got this ultralight gear maker Enlightened Equipment. I've got their quilts. I love it.
So you're an Enlightened Equipment user.
I am a user.
Okay.
But
Makes this story a little tougher.
I know. Well, they've been in the news lately, and you know, not for particularly good reasons, unfortunately. So, a post on the ultralight subreddit earlier this month sparked a piece on the Trek. I know, it's like nerd inception.
We love you. Just kidding.
I do, we do. But they dove into the brand's tactical equipment arm, defense mechanisms. They make gear that's pretty much marketed toward law enforcement, military use. And here's the thing, like that's really common.
Really common.
So common. Like listen, all of the technological innovation that happens in the outdoor industry, I'm actually shocked that more people don't realize this. Like you got Patagonia spent 40 years, I think, contracting to produce clothing for the military. Arc'teryx has a whole dedicated line called Leaf, that's law enforcement and armed forces. I think they actually don't contract with the military, but they got a line. But yeah, other folks, Granite Gear, Outdoor Research, Darn Tough, Farm to Fleet, Danner, they all have tactical lines and military contracts. And I think as of a few years ago, I saw Outdoor Research made almost half of its annual revenue from those contracts. So it's a big deal.
It's borderline irresponsible if you are an outdoor brand and you do actually want to make money one day and you're not figuring out how to sell to the military. When I was at Polar Tech, I was the sales director for North America. Our number if we made our number annually was totally dictated by what the military did.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, think about the history of outdoor gear. A lot of it is tied, and this is across the world, not just in the US, but a lot of it is tied to armies.
Yep.
That's why a lot of those innovations
wars have
happen.
been fought and won by those who had the better equipment. Sorry,
people
folks
wearing
out
their
there
Patagonia
listening.
vests.
Yeah, right.
Their quarter zips are really what won those wars.
Yes.
But anyway, okay, so the story is not about that. I just want people to know that because I think a lot of people are always surprised when they hear about this.
Right, for sure.
And to be fair, none of these brands, these are like law enforcement, firefighters, military, none of these brands are marketing to the basement dwelling paramilitary cosplay persons. Except for the Reddit commenter pointed out that Defense Mechanisms, that's the Enlightened Equipment tactical arm, was actually posting some sort of like dog whistle content that's pretty different from how most brands market this stuff. And it kind of speaks exactly to those extremist militia types like Proud Boys, Boogaloo Movement, all that jazz.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, did you see that the CEO, Chris Schabow, and the owner, Tim Marshall, jumped into the Reddit forums and started kind of like,
oh, yeah.
whoa,
a lot of backpedaling.
There was so much backpedaling. They're like, listen, hey, we're anti-racist. We're not right-wing extremists. We didn't know about these dog whistles. I didn't realize that could be bad.
Should we make a dog whistle?
Should we make one? Should we manufacture an ultralight and sell it on GGG? No. But yeah, I think it's really interesting. I heard from several people emailed me about this, and that's why I decided to bring it up today, that this whole thing made them decide not to buy Enlightened equipment anymore. And even the guys from the brand in those Reddit threads were like, listen, I get it if you guys are turned off. Like, we figure a lot of people are probably going to be put out by this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think at the end of the day, this is a good call for all of us outdoorsy folks. Just have a better understanding of the companies you're buying from and how the industry works. And that is across the board from toothpaste to toilet paper. I mean, I think in general, Americans are kind of a lazy reactionary bunch, and it's a lot easier to just join the online dog pile after the fact instead of doing your research and shopping by your values up front.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we do things here.
It is. I mean, look, if you look at some of the posts, they're pretty hard, I think, to look back and say we didn't know it was that one. It was like, whoa, this is there's some reasons to be concerned.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, the sort of then grandstanding by the like you said at the beginning of we're talking about the military thing. What, they make those for the military?
Shocking.
It's like. So like I on both sides, I'm like, I want to like shake both of you. Like, it's like, okay, number one, you should not have been posting the things you were posting. Number two, wake the fuck up. And also either be okay with it or don't be okay with it, but just do your research, and shop accordingly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Listen, Colin, I don't know if I've really said that's right to you a whole lot.
I love it when you do. It gets me so excited.
I want you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold that in your heart, okay, buddy? I love that. I like, by the way, we haven't gotten any negative feedback on it, but I like that you and I are giving ourselves a little extra bonus time at the beginning of the pod to chat amongst ourselves and also with all of you listening.
It's the fist shaking part of the episode.
Yeah, it's real important. I mean, we said in that, so far he still has both hands. I just want you guys to know that. Doing all right. But yeah, well, you are here for the question and answer portion of this program. So, Colin, let's kick things off.
Okay, here we go. First question of the day. Dear Gear Abby, I live out east, but my buddy lives out your way and was telling me that the Forest Service keeps shutting down one of your local mountains because people are stupid and keep needing to be rescued because they go out into bad weather and shit like that. This is like one of my people here. It got us talking, arguing about how many safety features exist in the national parks. Railings, signs, even those cables that are up Angel's Landing and Half Dome, and whether or not we should take them down and just let natural selection do its own thing. What say ye? Signed, Mike in Maine. Mike. Great email.
Is this really Mike or was this you, Colin? Are you? Is this not Colin writing in again?
Listen, I like my sort of surly disposition was forged in New England, so I definitely feel a kindred connection here with Mike in Maine. But this is not me. This is definitely not me. But it's a great question, though.
But in the spirit of you,
it was and shit like that. I'm like, yeah, that I know you, Mike.
You're like, I see you, I recognize you, I feel you in my heart. All right, well, I can't wait to hear what you have to say on this, Colin. But all right, Mike, since you are apparently a real person, judging from the tone of your email and the whole people are stupid and natural selection bits, I'm guessing you probably land on the side of ripping down all the railings and embracing a bit of that Darwinism you spoke of. Apologies if I'm wrong, but I'm going to guess that I'm not.
We could host the Darwin Awards on this podcast. I think that would be okay.
Oh, we could.
Yeah.
We could. Okay. You would, that maybe that's the year end for 2026.
Outdoor category only, of course.
We'll workshop that, okay? But all right, listen, Mike. First of all, your friend was probably talking about Mount Baldy. That's the tallest peak in the San Gabriel Mountains here in SoCal. And it's kind of like nature's bat signal for SoCal hikers, which we've talked about in the past in light of some deaths on the mountain this winter. People just cannot stay away from this thing, even when it's covered in snow and ice. But I have to say, it's a pretty sexy mountain.
It's a good-looking peak.
No, I get the allure. It's saucy up there. But yeah, it is a pretty rare thing for the Forest Service to close trails for safety reasons. Like, we've definitely had closures after fires, and that is a safety reason, of course, but it's pretty pretty obvious. But I am generally all for keeping access open to public lands as much as possible and allowing people to, by and large, mitigate their own risks. Like, that is generally where I fall on this spectrum. And I can also understand, though, that local search and rescue crews are probably super tapped out at this point. That there's this whole cycle of like big storm, unprepared humans, multiple accidents that just keeps happening.
We're getting while we're recording this, we're gonna get snow next week. So look for that. Look for Baldy to be in the news about 10 days or about 3 or 4 days after this episode comes out. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it'll be this week.
Yeah.
So hopefully not. Though. Hopefully people, because it's actually closed through I think the 20th or something.
Oh.
For this reason, Colin, because they're tired, man. They don't want to keep rescuing your ass.
It reopened, but okay, all right.
Snowy Mountain. I think it did, and then it closed again.
Preemptively.
Yeah, womp womp. But listen, in my own dream world, you've heard me talk about this on the podcast. I love education. I wish that the Forest Service, National Park Service, since the peak is actually part of the San Gabriel Mountains National Monument, I wish that, maybe they could have a ranger stationed at the trailhead to talk to people and just like go over gear that might be safe to use on the mountain, whether or not you have the knowledge to be out there. I really do think a lot of people just don't know. Like, they get excited. I get it. Like I said, it's a sexy mountain. But yeah, people just don't understand. I'm going to guess Mike is not for that. Mike is like, hell no. We're not doing this. We don't need those safety measures like actual humans teaching other humans. So all right, Mike, we're gonna dig into your question here. I don't think you're alone, dude. All right. There are a lot of people who wish that every railing, fence, sign was removed so that nature was more, natural. Nature is nature intended and all that jazz. The thinking is usually along the lines of this. Like, the only people that should be going here are the people who have earned the right by having the skills, the equipment, the knowledge, the confidence to be here without those, quote, railings. Any kind of safety measures that, kind of install this false sense of security in people who maybe shouldn't be in these places. And that ultimately, I think the bottom line for folks who believe this is like, safety is your own personal responsibility, which is not a terrible bottom line, right? I can't argue with that as a whole, but especially that last bit, I'd say.
Yeah.
It is. You got to know yourself. You got to know what you're capable of, know your limits, and know the environment you're going into, know how to do risk assessment. So understanding like Mount Baldy, for instance, not a hike in the winter, okay? It's a full-on mountaineering experience, and you got to know what you're doing and have the right equipment before you even sink like a single crampon point into the snow. But I'm going to give you a counterpoint because you know me. I think, so some places, you talked about Half Dome, you mentioned Angel's Landing, Mike. Some places, such as, I don't know, near waterfalls in Yosemite, in those places, having railings, having warning signs actually does allow more people to enjoy those areas while theoretically reducing the risk of injury or, death. And it reduces the stress on park staff who might have to probably respond to a whole lot more emergencies because people are still going to go to these places.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
You taking the railing out isn't going to stop, somebody in their family coming from Ohio or overseas or whatever. That's what
Mike just thinks those people just chuck themselves right off the edge, like, all right, sorry, Ohio guy.
Like lemmings. Bye-bye. Oh, sorry, Ohioans. We know you're smarter than that. But yeah, listen, the park actually does have a certain responsibility to mitigate risk for the visitors. Like this is part of their whole thing as a land manager is you got to manage the land and the people who use it. So, and you want to manage it in a way that allows people to use it. Yosemite has actually had a staff geologist for 20 years, and one of his responsibilities is literally monitoring for potential rockfall that could like fall on people and, crack their heads open. So, they take it pretty seriously.
I like that job description, right? Watch for falling rocks.
Yeah, you just stand there and look.
And yell, get out of the way!
All day. Hey!
Great job.
Oh,
Great job. Taxpayer money.
That's right. Hey, he does a lot more, okay?
I know. He's a geologist.
Pretty cool, dude. But yeah, listen, any place in the outdoors that has things, in the US at least, that has things like railings, chains, other built-in safety features is probably pretty much, quote, front country is how I would put it. Like, these are the places that are already seeing a lot of people. They're already pretty packed. They've already got roads, buildings, infrastructure, like the whole shebang. That area where Half Dome is in Yosemite, it's really close to where the waterfalls are. Nevada, Falls is right there. It's a pretty tiny portion of the whole park. Most of that park is wilderness, most of which does not have any sign of humans other than the occasional, mileage sign and the trail itself. I mean, this is not Europe where we've got Via Ferrata bolted into cliff sides on 10,000-foot peaks. So I think here you can pretty easily get away from everybody. Let some people have those built environments where they can go and appreciate these beautiful places. And then if you don't want to be around that, if you don't like the sight of a chain or a railing or a sign, there's a whole lot of backcountry for you, buddy. Okay. So I think overall, like, while not every person needs to be in every place, it's a good thing to make sure that parts of our public lands are made accessible to the everyday person who might need a little extra guidance on how to stay safe. Like, I don't know. That's my whole thing. I'm curious what you, Senior Fish Shaker, have to say about it.
I think you covered a lot of it. I think the when it comes to the mountain part of it, and I know we've talked about this in the pod before. Like the East Coast equivalent probably to Mount Baldy is near Mike in New Hampshire. He's in Maine, but in New Hampshire, Mount Washington, where the most deadly mountain in North America, because like 160 people have died on it, but that's because it's so easily accessible. But the difference there too is, it's cold at the base in the wintertime. So even if you're making bad decisions, you're at least probably starting with appropriate clothing on versus There are folks here. It's been interesting living in California now for 6 years. In San Diego County, we get snow in the eastern part of the county, but there are people who've never seen snow in person. Right? So like this week, this upcoming storm, we're going to get snow in the mountains in eastern San Diego County. There's people who live down here in the lowlands who have never seen it. So definitely, it's not hard to if you think, oh, look, it's 67 degrees and sunny out, I want to go for a hike. Oh, I heard about Mount Baldy. It's not much of a stretch to see why people end up in that position. And to Shawnté's point, though, that's another reason why there should be some more resources there to prevent that from happening. When it comes to the taking railings down, like, look, come on, man. Like, these big spots where everybody is showing up, you need some guardrails. You see when people go into backcountry settings and they're still hucking rocks off cliffs that they shouldn't be and that kind of stuff, right? So, and look, if you want to do that, there are places where you can probably go do that. I don't recommend it, but you can also, when you're going to a place that is named like this and it's a national park, it's going to have a draw, you better have something up, right? Just so, because people are going to make, even if it's not a Darwin type decision, just sometimes people slip, things happen. Like, and hey, you were on the other side of the rope, you shouldn't have been. So, Also, by the way, those safety features don't do shit for the people who are already Darwining themselves because they will just go right over them anyway. Exactly. So same people are implicated in all of this. The railings just help all the other people. Right. And we have to make sure we have our bison petting zoo that we want to open in Yellowstone for those people as well. Just go up and pet a bison. Yeah, I think that's good. We got to get some investors for it, Colin. Well, now I'm thinking about petting a bison. I know. Every day I think about petting a bison, Shawnté, right? No, mostly I think about petting marmots, if I'm being real about it. It's my one true dream in this life, maybe at this point, is just to, nobody has, can you choose between a pika and is it pika or pika? Pika. I think pika, but it might be pika. I've heard people say both. What if you had to go marmot? I usually say pika. Oh, marmot, because there's more surface area. I just want my hand like deep in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, deep in that fur. Squeeze it.
My friend's cat was, my friend has 2 cats. She lives in the same courtyard that I do. And one of her cats comes over to my house every single day. The other cat is like, whatever. But the other cat is the fluffier one. And he's like a stocky boy, you know? And today he's such a cute chunk. Today he was wandering the courtyard and he was following me. And then he kept running in front of me and flopping on his side and letting me pet him. And I was like, oh my God, this is so satisfying. It was like calming my nervous system. So yeah, bison petting zoo. I think we got to get on that. Maybe this next question will be about how to get us to their bison. Maybe it's somebody who's like, hey, listen, I knew you were going to ask about this. I've got one. Do you want to come over here? That's my question.
I mean,
yes is the answer.
Are there a lot of bison on the Camino?
Oh, we got a Camino question.
We have a Camino question.
All right,
so
let's go.
A little less bison probably for this one.
I've never
I
been.
don't know. Maybe they're importing them. Who knows? You eat pretty well in the Camino, right? You go through towns and stuff. Maybe they're making bison burgers now. I have no idea.
Oh boy. All right. Read the question.
Okay.
Dude.
Dear Gear Abby, I know this isn't as hardcore as some of the things you talk about. We are pretty hardcore around here.
Hardcore. That's us talking about railings and shit.
But I feel like it hopefully still counts. Oh, of course it counts.
Oh, it always counts. I always tell you guys, send any questions.
Send the questions. deargearabby@gmail.com. I am planning to hike the Camino in June, which has been a lifelong dream of mine. I'm deep in my prep right now, and everything is coming together except one really big thing. I started walking in the boots I plan to take, which I got for Christmas from my amazing husband, and they give me horrible blisters. She put horrible in all caps, so they're really bad.
Oh.
I don't want to say the brand because I know they work for a lot of people. That's all right, but I just feel please say the brand. But
this ain't that kind of podcast. We tell all, okay?
Like we speak openly around here. I just feel like my feet are slipping around a lot, even though they're my size. Sure about that? And they're just rubbing so much on my heel and the front of my foot. I cried the other day. It was so bad. Oh my goodness.
Aww.
Are there any ways to fix the problem, or are boots just a bad idea? My husband is a sweetheart and said he could exchange them to get something that works for me better. So I don't think you're going to be able to exchange them at this point, but something new might be a good idea. We'll see what Shawnté has to say. So I'm open to that if you have suggestions. I just don't want to end up throwing my boots over a cliff like the woman from Wild. Thank you, signed Bethany.
Wow, you took us on a real journey there,
Seriously,
Bethany.
I feel like,
thank you.
Yeah, I feel like we're hiking with Bethany right now.
Oh, Bethany. Well, listen, I don't want you chucking your boots off a cliff either, okay? You got plenty of time to work out some fixes if you're not leaving till, later this spring or early summer. So let us get you some happy feet, okay? And not the penguins, just your feet. We're going to make them better. Even though
penguins would be kind of squeezable too, like a marmot,
right?
They would
be. Yeah. Oh, I would pet that belly so hard. But actually, it's probably very like I'm thinking a seal.
It's like
almost. Oily. Yeah. Hey, are there any penguin people who can allow me to pet a penguin? Can I? Someone sent in that question so I could pull in a penguin specialist.
Welcome to Gear Abby, where we talk about oily penguins.
It's a special episode. It's going to be like, you might have to pay a little bit for that episode.
Now, are bison also oily? Let's talk about that.
We have so much to find out on this podcast. We're actually just going to launch a second podcast that's like Gear Abby's Animal Investigations.
My poor Bethany's just on waiting answer my question.
Oh man. All right, Bethany, if you've listened to any of this podcast at this point, you know how we work. Okay. Listen, I am concerned. I'd say like the thing that really stuck out to me the most is this idea your tootsies are just slipping around in there. That tells me that even though you say these boots are your size, some aspect of them is not fitting correctly. So when I have this issue in a shoe, the first thing I try is lacing them up differently. And I use what's called a heel lock. And you could Google that, see some videos, whatever. This is basically where those top 2 eyelets in a lot of shoes come in handy. Sometimes they're kind of set off to the side, in fact. You basically just thread the lace up through the bottom of one of the eyelets on one side, then down through the other one, and you leave a little loop there. Do the same on the other side, and then you pull the opposite string through each of those loops and tighten it, and it creates this little like tension system that does a really good job generally of keeping your foot where it needs to be.
If you put that in, just say lace lock on YouTube, and you'll find a little video, I'm sure, to see what Shawnté's talking about.
Oh, for sure.
Heel lock, heel lock.
Well, I think lace lock actually too. Yeah, that works.
Yes.
You can do it all.
There's no kink shaming on this podcast.
That's right. We haven't said that in a while. It's good to remind people.
Well, if you're into heel locks or lace locks, we don't want to offend you,
Brown chicken, brown cow. Yeah, a little bit of light shibori here. That's for the specialists. Only they will know what I'm talking about. Uh, Speaking of, you can actually tighten the laces, tighten the laces down by your toes. But really the heel lock is the winner here. And if you do that, Bethany, if things are still sliding around in there like an Olympic ice dancer, there's probably a volume issue, meaning that your foot is not filling out the space correctly. And this is not your foot's fault. I don't want it to get a complex, okay? All right. Okay. So here's what you could do if you want to try to fix this. You could try wearing thicker socks to see if that helps. I used to have a pair of mountaineering boots back when I was getting into ice climbing, and they were a men's size. And that is because I could not find a single damn store in all of California that carried women's mountaineering boots, because apparently women don't like to spend time on mountains and definitely don't want to actually try on boots specific to their feet.
The fair sex does not climb mountains.
That's right. Yeah, so these boots were the right length, but they were way too voluminous for my dainty little lady feet.
Which, by the way, women typically have like wider feet historically.
Mine are wide as shit at this point. They've gotten wider, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think it's all the hiking. But yeah, listen, I ended up just wearing them with a pair of thin liner socks and then put these ridiculously thick mountaineering, wool socks over them. And that was fine, even if it annoyed the shit out of me that I couldn't just find a women's specific boot in a state that is filthy with mountains. Again, I'm not mad about it. I don't know why you would think that. But yeah, so you could do that. You could also, maybe with less bitching.
Who's shaking her fist now?
It's me. So every once in a while, I gotta, snatch that throne back from you. We're going to bring Lloyd on some more. We're going to have some regular Lloyd intervals, although I think generally he's not a fish shaker. So
we'll bring it out of him. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll do our best. Okay. We'll shake that Minnesota nice right out of him. No, we won't, Lloyd. Don't worry about it. So anyway, listen, Bethany, you can also try replacing the insole. I mean, there are exceptions, but I would say most shoes come with crappy insoles. They are pretty thin. They're not very supportive. So you could try out some that are a bit thicker, that have a well-developed heel cup. That's the back end that goes around your heel, if you were wondering. Super feet are kind of the gold standard here, so check it out. Whatever. You can also try going down half a size, see if that makes a difference. I mean, at this point, I probably have equal numbers of 8.5 and 9 shoes all around my house. Shoe sizing, not a perfect science. And I know, okay, Bethany, I know we said we weren't going to blame your feet. I did say that, but in the end, you may just have lower volume feet, okay? Like, that happens.
You're the anti-Shawnté.
Feet are all different. What?
Bizarro Shawnté.
What?
You said you had wide feet.
Oh, yeah, I am. Yeah, that's right. You're the anti-gearabby. We're only talking about gearabby's body parts on this podcast. So it's my alter ego. Now we're getting weird, as if we weren't before. But listen, if you have lower volume feet, this could mean they're more narrow. Maybe you have a lower instep, lower arch. They're just a bit lost inside a regular, width boot. So I recommend going and getting fitted at a running store, or if you don't have a running store near you, go to an outdoor shop that offers fittings, just to understand your foot better. It's just like we talked to Dr. Sports Bra. It's just like sports bras. Our feet are all a little different. Sizing is all a little different. Go get a little more information about your feet. You might be just fine with a narrower boot, honestly. I mean, I've always found the European brands to be a bit more snug. Maybe it's because they don't pumping GMOs into their feet, but La Sportiva, Azzolo, Loa, Salomon, all of those generally have narrower lasts, I guess. But anyway, I'd say no matter what boot you end up with, Bethany, you could do a few more things just to minimize the chance of blisters. Let's say lube up, okay? You're going to lube up. No relation to what we talked about at the beginning of the podcast. I just started slicking Aquaphor between my toes. Colin is just dying right now, by the way.
I don't know what to say. I was going to say there's no kink shaming, but is this kind of, I don't know what's going on right now. We're just lubing up our feet.
And listen, this one's for the foot people, okay?
That's right.
We're trying to kick off the OnlyFans.
And they're listening to this podcast.
That's right. Send all your creepy emails to Colin. Not me. Colin also has feet, okay? He's got a family to feed as well. So anyway, I use Aquaphor between my toes. I don't put it on YouTube. And other high friction areas on my feet, sometimes the sides of my feet, depends on the shoes. It has been a game changer for me. You can also use something like Body Glide if the whole thought of Aquaphor or whatever. I've used Carmex actually.
Wait, when you use Body Glide, because you put Body Glide in some sensitive spots.
What?
So,
What do you mean sense? I'm not putting it in my butt crack, Colin. I know we talked about
you
chafing,
can.
but I
People
think
do. A lot of people do.
I don't.
Okay,
Don't,
but I'm saying if you're one of those people who do, what comes first, the feet or the butt crack? Do you want to put the butt crack on your feet or your feet in your butt crack? I mean, this is an important question to answer if you're going to recommend using Body Glide, and you might use it in other. Do you have a dedicated Body Glide stick just for your feet?
Colin, are you putting Body Glide in your butt crack? Is that why you're saying this?
Wouldn't be opposed to it.
They make other things for that. If I'm worried about butt crack chafing, I'm using like a cream.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Some people use Body Glide for all sorts of things.
I mean, you use what you want, where you want it, in any order that you want it. Okay. This poor woman is like, please, could you just
really? This is like a Hall of Fame question at this point because of all of our side
so
travels.
Many sidebars.
Okay, yeah, sidebars. Thank you. That's the word.
Oh, side travel, side quests.
Quests. That's probably what I was trying to say.
We're going to go back to feet, which is where we've been, just in weird parts. You could try some different socks. Like we said, I love toe socks. Colin loves it when I mispronounce Ingingy.
Yeah, there it is. Not Ingingy.
Okay, I did it right that time. Thank you. But other people swear by darn toughs, whatever. You could tape up. I actually love on my heels. I'll slap on a little bit of, KT tape or something similar. And I think it's so much better than moleskin or those gooey little blister bandages that are creepy when they come off. And it stays put forever. But yeah, I think to wrap it up here, your question about are boots a bad idea? Think about what's going to be most comfortable and breathable for you for a month-long walk, okay? I will say my one opinion here is that I think heavy boots are overkill for the Camino. It's a non-technical route with a lot of town walking. And I think most people tend to use hiking shoes or trail runners just because they're lighter. They're going to keep your feet from getting too sweaty, which will, also be a route to Blister Town. So I'd say go back to episode 2 where we had a whole conversation about boots versus trail runners and have a little listen to the chafing episode. And as much as I would like to spend a month eating cheese and drinking wine while prancing through the European countryside, your feet are the ones that are going to be clocking all those miles, Bethany. So at the end of the day, you do you.
All I have to add is that, yeah, you're doing the Camino, so get some trail runners. Which, by the way,
brought to you by Big Trail Runner.
That's true. But or road runners. I mean, honestly, just get the most comfortable shoe that you can spend all day in, and you'll probably be fine. Number 2, don't wait so long. I appreciate it's a Christmas present, but if this day and age, if a shoe is hurting your foot, move on. There's too many other options out there.
Yeah, you want it generally to fit pretty well right out of the box at this point. They make shoes in a lot of different sizes,
for sure,
makes and models and whatever. And if you're popping it on and you're already feeling pain, it's not the shoe for you, honey. Today's episode of Gear Abby is presented by the one, the only, the most delightfully alliterative outdoor retailer in the game. That's right, it's Garage Grown Gear. Want to see the latest and most interesting products coming from the coolest and newest outdoor brands? Yeah, you do. You're going to head over to garagegrowngear.com and check out the new button, and you're going to see awesome things like this. The latest brand to embrace the Polartec Alpha Revolution, that's Tumble On Outfitters with their Alpha and Grid Combo Fleece Hoodie, all yours for a mere $95. But wait, there's more. Alpha, that's right, more Alpha, because you'll also find the women's Fast Packer Alpha 90 from Alpine Fit, amazing brand, women-owned, clocking in at $119. Oh, you think we're done with Alpha? You're wrong. We're Alpha freaks, and so are the folks at GGG, because in addition to those first 2 hoodies, you're going to also find the Alpha Cruiser by Farpoint Outdoor Gear, $95, people. Whether you're an ultralight backpacker or just an outdoorsy person who wants to see outdoor innovation at its best, you'll find something to love, Alpha or otherwise, when you head to the official gear shop of Gear Abby, garagegrowngear.com. Oh, Colin, I feel soft and snuggly. We just bathed in a sea of Alpha.
Yes.
Do you feel
the Alpha
feel
revolution
technical
is
yet
real.
comfortable?
Yeah. Eventually, someday, what's going to come next, though? Because then when people are over Alpha, what will come next?
I don't know. I'm thinking some sort of invisible fabric. We're just going to go ultra light. You're not going to see
Emperor's
it.
New Clothes
It'll
here.
Be there. Yeah, little Emperor's New Clothes. Maybe just like little pasties. It's going to be like pasties and a little merkin. That's super. There's nothing more ultralight than that unless you are actually naked. Okay, so Alpha Merkin. I want you guys to think about it. Maybe this is something for Sam Bob to get into. Thoughts.
I'm just
ideas.
pleased you said Merkin. That's an underutilized word. And if it helps Merkin's like, SEO or whatever by us mentioning it on this podcast, I'm pro Merkin. So let's go.
I want to know. I want to know if people are Googling Merkin after listening to this episode. I really hope they are.
Yeah, we should not tell them what a Merkin is. Let's just go figure it out on your own. You'll be shocked and delighted.
That's right. All right. Well, shock and delight us with the final question for today's episode. Por favor.
Okay, last question of the day. Dear Gear Abby, I'm a big proponent of growing one's knowledge and furthering one's education in the job or career that they find themselves in. It's a little academic kind of question to close out the show.
Is this the the guy who was writing looking for a job? Is he back?
Oh, yeah, he's back. And I don't think so, but it could be. It may be a different name. In working for REI for the last 11 years, that continued education,
so no, not him,
was usually provided by attending the co-op's in-house experiential training events, or ETEs, a district-wide gathering of representative employees from each store in our district to learn and be trained in new product from product reps in the industry. However, with REI scaling back on or discontinuing those events altogether, shame on you, REI, you should not do that. And with your frequent podcast conversations about your recent trade show attendances, I have come down with a serious case of FOMO. My question is, if myself and a few of my coworkers were interested in attending the next Switchback trade show in New Orleans on our own dime, would we be gaining some useful knowledge or just crashing the party? Sincerely, Trade Booth Barging Boris.
Well, listen, I who says you can't do both? Party hardy, Boris.
Seriously.
So for people who aren't super familiar, we have mentioned trade shows on here. We went to the running event back in December. For people who aren't familiar, these are places simply where folks come from a specific industry. Here we got outdoor or running. They come together to conduct business, learn, make connections. It's also where people go to maybe pet an alpaca, pretend to be deeply interested in performance fabrics and shoe stack heights, drink beer out of metal pint glasses, and get a free, bunch of free stuff, or at least try to. So that's trade shows.
Yes.
I've been to my fair share as a journalist, and I guess recently as a podcaster. Colin has been more than God himself.
Are you saying that
roles.
a podcaster is not a journalist? What do we,
I don't know. We're doing some hard-hitting elk sex journalism on this podcast. Talking about foot stuff.
I don't hear anyone else talking about it.
That's right. That's right. This is the only pod where you'll hear this hard-hitting journalism. But anyway, I'd say, Colin and I have our varied experiences there. But my number one advice, for trade shows is know what you want to get out of them and then do your best to make that happen, okay? While still leaving a little room for magic. We'll get to that in a second. So Boris, sounds like you want to deepen your knowledge base, okay? Since REI has punted the ball on that. Trade shows generally offer a few ways to do that. So between product demos, meeting with, PR reps and brand folks, listening to speakers, and the educational sessions that are actually dedicated to that. On that latter note, thinking back to last year's Switchback Spring, they did really push the idea that the event wasn't just for sales, it was for networking and education. So there were a bunch of sessions, especially that first day when the trade show floor wasn't even open. And they dug into topics that could, I think, feel relevant for somebody on the retail side of things. I mean, that's kind of the point. I do think it's a little skewed to somebody on the retail buyer side of things. Maybe you're not doing that. So it's things like working with emerging brands, using data to drive growth, improving relationships with vendors. But I do think there were enough general sessions and speakers that kind of talked about the state of the industry, the future of outdoor retail, leadership, trends, that sort of thing. I also think there's a lot of value in attending when they have panel style sessions. So for Switchback, that was their Trailheads Theater where, there were sessions on brand storytelling, outdoor advocacy, sustainability, youth in the outdoors, size inclusivity, merchandising, all that kind of stuff. There was also the Rock Fight, RIP, Colin's old podcast.
I heard it went out at the top of its game. I heard that's what I heard about it.
It's weird. That's not what I heard. You know how many emails, by the way, I've gotten from people who are like, hey, why did you guys, why they're emailing me, whose podcast
I haven't gotten these emails.
I've gotten so many. I should just forward them all to you. I'm like, why? It's like people are embarrassed to ask you why the hell you did what you did.
That's right. You'll never know.
That's right. And it's because he believes in the future of gear.
Because I need to get paid.
That's why. That's right. Also that. He's got children to feed. We already said this, and we don't know if the foot stuff, is going to work on the OnlyFans. So, yeah. I also, going back to trade shows, which is what Boris has asked us about.
Thank you, Boris.
Sorry, Boris. I do think they're worth it beyond just focusing on education. And this is kind of the magic I mentioned earlier. There are a lot of relationships and ideas in this industry that began while walking the aisles and attending parties and activations and other events related to the show. Going to the trade shows is actually how I broke out as an outdoor writer, journalist, before my book was, my first book was ever published. I connected with brands I eventually started writing copy for. I met editors that gave me a chance, after pitching them to start writing for the magazines. And I actually made friends that I still talk to and love to this day. So I think it's a fun thing all around. I mean, you're asking about investing your own money in this. So I think taking all of that in and then whatever the hell Colin's about to say, that should help you sort of decide whether or not it's worth it. So Colin, should they go?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you are worked in the industry and you want to continue to work in the industry, then yeah, if you can. I think the challenge might be getting a badge, because it's like you can't just be an individual who wants to attend the show. You need to be, it's a trade show. That you need to be with an organization that is part of the trade of the industry. So probably, if anyone at Switchback hears this and they get mad, we can take it out after the fact. No, you know what? You don't own this podcast. I'm going to say what I want. You know what? If you register as media and start a Substack, that's probably the easiest way to get a badge. They will vet you, so you can't just make sure you have a few articles up. But even so, then they might deny you. The PR team there might say, "Nay, you are not allowed to come." But it's not.
Did you get this idea from Gear Abby? Yeah. From Colin specifically, I would like to mention.
No. No, but that would be your biggest hurdle probably is getting into the show. But I do think if you want to go around, talk to the brands, learn what they have coming up, understand the broader world, all the things that Shawnté just said, then yeah, for sure. I mean, but it is, make sure that you really want to go because, it's a plane ticket to New Orleans and a hotel in New Orleans in June in the summertime.
June in New Orleans.
Yeah. So there's definitely a benefit to going. But like Shawnté said, make sure you really know why you want to go.
I think we'll leave it at that, Colin. I think that was some solid advice. If you do go, send us an email. Maybe we'll be there. I don't know yet. All right, that's it for this episode of Gear Abby. Until next time, send your burning questions about relationships with outdoor people, products, places, and pastimes, and I guess trade shows, over to deargearabby@gmail.com. I'm going to do my best to answer them or find someone else who can. And of course, head over to your podcast listening service of choice and subscribe, rate, and review to support the pod and make my day. Maybe Colin's too. I don't know. Follow us on Instagram at GearAbbyPod if you want. In the meantime, today's episode was produced by David Karstad and this guy. Art direction provided by Sarah Gensert. I'm Shawnté Salabert. And remember, there are no dumb questions, just smart advice.
I'm leaving that in.